This is the brand new ClonerAlliance UHD Halo. This is a true 4K 60 recording device. This is a standalone recorder, does not need a computer. Now, I recently did a review on the UHD 4K Pro Max, and I really like this thing. It had a very good user interface, and the color science was excellent. So if you record something, it will look the same as when you recorded. We all know how frustrating that can be. You want to have the same look when you record something as when you're watching it. Can the Halo perform just as good as the 4K Pro Max? And does it exceed those performance requirements? And what is that trick that it can do that I'm very excited to share with you? Well, if you're curious about that, keep watching because you're watching Blue Collar Guy. Okay, we're back. So today we're talking about the Halo. This is ClonerAlliance's latest and greatest. So what can this do that the other one can't do? Well, we already know it can record in 4K 60, but it has a new feature that I can't wait to show you, and I'm going to have to demonstrate it to show you how it works because it's really, really cool. Before we demonstrate that, I need to take this thing out of the box and see what you get in the box. But before we do that, I have to give you a disclaimer. This video is not sponsored. ClonerAlliance did send me the Halo for the purposes of review and testing only. I do send out an ethical statement to anybody that sends me a product saying that they will get nothing but an honest review. Be it good, be it bad, it's going to be an honest review. And you're going to get a product that performs like it performed just for me. I will show you what you will get. Now, if you're new to the channel, I also want you to know that I don't ask for Patreon, I don't ask for paid affiliate links, I don't do any of that. So if you were to buy one of these devices, I don't get a commission and I don't want a commission. And the reason why is, am I going to recommend this because I want a commission, because I'll make a commission on it, or am I recommending it because I actually think it works well? As a matter of fact, I will tell the manufacturer to take any of those things that they're going to give me and pass them on to you. The reason why I do that is because you took the time to watch this video, and that is my way of giving back to you. So if you want to support my channel, watch this video to the end, hit like, hype the video, and let YouTube know that this is the kind of format that you want. Sends a message to YouTube that this is the type of format that you not only want to see from guys like me, but you want to see from everybody. So now that I got all of that out of the way, let's go to the downward shot and get this thing out of the box. So this is the Halo. Now I covered up the serial number for obvious reasons, but I wanted to show you the outside of the box because this is what you're going to get. This is what this side says, and we're going to flip it around. Okay, so on the back of this, it does 4K 60 recording, and that is something that the Pro Max doesn't do. It has 4K 60 pass-through, but not recording. And this one also has pass-through if you want that. It also has H.264, H.265, MP4. Independent audio recording, so if you're a gamer and you want to record for live streaming and things like that, you can do that. You can pause the recording as well as continue it, so you don't have to stop the recording and start a new file. And you can also do scheduled recording. Now I'm going to flip it on this side. I'm just going to cover up the serial number here, but over here it just says keep this device out of reach of children, and we've got the address, the model number, which is CA989UH. So remember that, that'll be important. And these are all the certifications for safety and electrical appliance stuff and that. We've also got an email here as well. So it is europegmbh.com. All right, so let's just get this thing out now. And they usually make it a little on the tight side, but no, it's not too bad today. Okay, so their products are boxed pretty nicely. They're fairly like a premium product. They ingeniously put the instructions, by the way, in the lid. So when you take the lid off, look inside the lid. And this will just be like a quick start guide. There is some QR codes, things like that. Tells you what to do if things aren't working. So it's got some, it definitely has some advice in there. So I would definitely hold on to their instructions because their instructions are very useful, unlike a lot of companies. Now, we will take this out, and it looks like it is going to be in a very similar form factor of the Pro Max. So it looks like it is a very similar housing. So there's the housing, but it looks like we have a little bit different artwork on there. Of course, the label is different. Now, I have noticed that on ClonerAlliance products, if you look at the front of them, that can be different as well. So this is the Pro Max, by the way, at the top. Actually, I'm going to switch it around. There we go. Okay, so the button placement. And I'm just going to, it's kind of hard to read the writing there. Now, the one thing I want to let you know is these colors, they mean things. So it'll tell you, depending on the color, is if you're recording in 1080p or if you're recording in 4K. And it will also let you know if the signal is 1080p or in 4K, and that will be the display up here. So one of them will tell you what your display is, and one of them will tell you what you're recording at. So I just want to be clear on that. Now on the front of this one, it looks like we have identical inputs. So I remember when I did the 4K Pro, and these were a little different. So the line in, mic in, and auxiliary in are in the identical spot. We have a infrared remote, and it could be a Bluetooth remote too, because I seem to remember that this one also had a Bluetooth function. We'll check that out. And then we also have, oh, there is a difference here. So the Halo here has source. This is take a picture, so it's kind of tough to see, but that's to take a screenshot. And this is your record, start, stop. So now on the Max, this is a pause, snapshot, and stop. Now it's possibility that they went with this because this was kind of the same layout, I think, that was on the original on the UHD 4K Pro. And the only reason why I don't have it here right now is because I think it might be a bit too confusing having three of them stacked on top of each other, because the housings are very similar. Now on the side, we have, oh yeah, there is a difference here. So the Halo has a USB-C. This is a more powerful port for sure. So different placement, if you can take a look. And then we also have microSD. Now this one here refers to it as TF storage, which is basically the same thing. And this one here just has microSD card slot symbol on there. Now on the back of it, we've got some differences here too. So on this one here, and this would be the Pro Max, they're using a barrel type connector. Now I can see that they've upgraded to a USB-C power. And that is awesome that they did that, because that is so much easier to replace if your power supply dies on you. Now you've also got a DisplayPort in over here, and then you've got your HDMI in, your HDMI out. On this one here, you just have HDMI in and HDMI out. Now this one has a power button on the back. This one doesn't have a physical power button. I am just looking to see if there is one, and I don't see a physical power button. How about that? So this one here is probably powered on by the remote control, or there may be another way to power it on. I am not sure. So I am learning this the same way you are. On this side, we don't have anything, but again, just pay attention to these little lines here, because those colors mean something. Okay. And then on the bottom, you just have your serial number. You've got some venting, and you're going to have the same thing on the Pro Max. So very similar. They've managed to reuse the case, but the guts and some of the other inputs are different. So this is why I like to put things side by side, because some people say, well, it looks like the same thing. But when you look at those input ports, they are different. So let's take a look at the remote controls next, because I want to see if those are different. And I'm just going to put myself in the corner here. Okay, so now we've got the remote controls. I'm just going to zoom out a bit. Okay, so now I've got the remote controls, and are they the same? And it looks like they are identical remote controls, which tells me that the user interface is also going to be the same, because they did upgrade it on the Pro Max. So that is a big deal. Now we've got video, audio, file, make. Okay, so that is interesting. The remote controls are the same. So not a big upgrade on the remote, but I do believe that this is a Bluetooth remote control. We'll get to that. Now it comes with this cable here. Now the difference is this is a USB-A to USB-C cable. You also have a DisplayPort USB-C cable as well. And that's something I need to let you know, is that not all cables are the same. I have a cable tester, and that cable tester usually will indicate if a USB-C cable is just for power delivery or if it's also an information cable. And some cables can do high data transfer rates and some can't. So don't throw these cables out or get them mixed up. If this cable was put in this box, it is designed for this device. Some people make that mistake. And here is the power supply. Now, it is a USB-C power. I'm just going to look at it is 1.5 amps, and it should be 5 volts because, and I'm just looking, yes, it's 5 volts, 1.5 amps to 3 amps, I believe. So even though you could probably run this device off of any power brick, this one here it feels like it's excellent quality. Like, this is heavy duty. It's meant to be plugged in all day, and there it is there. So, but you know, if this thing was to burn out on you, at least you could probably power it from another type of USB-C power source. But this one here looks like it is well made. They did not cheap out on that. And then of course you also have a really good HDMI cable. They always include one of these also. Now I have to do some testing, and then I'm going to come back to me and I'm going to show you some of the results of that testing. So I'm going to hook it up to different things and show you how that works. The one thing that I want to demonstrate for you is hooking it up to my phone, but I do need to play around with this for a while and get the hang of it and see what I like about it and what I don't like about it. Now, the one thing I need to tell you is that these devices can bypass the HDCP encoding. In other words, sometimes you go to record something and there's a signal that will stop you from recording it. You'll either get a blank screen with audio or you won't get anything at all. It'll just be blank. And you can disable that using the ClonerAlliance products. However, they didn't put that in there so that you could watch those movies. They put that in there for fair use. So let me explain. Let's say I want to record something off of YouTube that I did. Well, I obviously can record that. It is my video. But if I use another device, it won't let me do that. So that's why the bypass is there. So I can shut that off and record the content that I have the right to record. Now, other people will have YouTube channels where they do critiques of movies. So they need to record snippets of different movies, and then what they will do is they will critique those movies. But if you have HDCP encoding on those movies, how are you going to do that? So that's why they also have it on there. It's for fair use. But it is not to be abused. So if you abuse it and you record copyright content and you're like selling it or something like that, you are going to get yourself into a lot of trouble. That's right. So be very careful when you're using that HDCP bypass function. So let me go do some testing on this device, and then I'm going to come back here and I'm going to give you my final thoughts on it and let you know if I think it's a good bang for the buck. Okay, we're back. So I've done some testing on the Halo and it works really well. I was very impressed with it. So I did hook it up to my smartphone, and I do want to show you some stuff on my smartphone to give you an idea of what I'm referring to when I talk about that HDCP encoding. So it's a copyright thing. So I'm going to show you, because a lot of people say, well, why don't you just do some screen recording on your phone and then you can record a show that way? Well, you can't. So I'm going to show you that right now. So this is my phone. And if I go to Prime Video, right there, so I got Clarkson's Farm on there. And if I go down to screen recording, because on the Samsung phone you got a built-in screen recorder, and if I hit recording, it's going to say it's recording now, and if I hit resume, okay, so it's playing, I'm just going to turn down the audio here. So it looks like it's recording the show, right? So if I go like this, it looks like it's recording the show. You can see the little circle thing going, but it's not recording the show. I'm just letting you know. So I'm gonna stop it right now, and then I'm going to get out of here. And I'm gonna go back into here. Here we go. And it's going to play. And as you can see, you're not going to get any video, because the show's got that encoding on there. You're just going to get that little irritating circle thing, and that's it. And as soon as I leave that application and I go back into my normal applications, that HDCP will go back to normal. Okay? Now I'm going to show you the same thing on the Halo. So I have to queue up my Halo here. There we go. And I'm going to put myself in the corner. Nope. Yeah, actually I'll put both. Okay, so there's the Halo. Here it is here. Now I'm just going to plug in the DisplayPort into my phone. Okay, we got Clarkson's Farm on there. Give it a second, it'll say DisplayPort input. And then I'm just going to go back to the video. Okay, hit resume. Okay, and it's playing. You see how it's playing on there? Now if I take off this guy here, and I make the screen bigger, there we go. Now I'm going to hit record. You're going to see record go on in the corner there, and I'm recording the show. So I'm able to record it right off my phone, and that's how that works. So, and yeah, so we're recording it right off my phone. I'm going to show you. There it is there, playing on the phone. Now, the colors on the Halo actually look a little better, because he looks a little orangey, see here, and actually looks better on the Halo. So, I can't explain that. It's a little darker, but the color science does look better, which is weird. And I just stopped the recording. Yeah, I stopped the recording. So, it just says saving. So, if I hit record, that's what it looks like. And then if I stop recording, it'll just say saving. Okay. Now, if I want to play it back, so I'm just gonna unplug this now. Okay, so I unplug the phone. Now I'm gonna play it back. So I'm gonna queue up this. Now on the remote control, you're just gonna go to video, and you're going to hit OK, and then it's going to play the video, and it'll just keep looping it. You know, if I click down, it'll play the next video. There we go. So whatever length you have it on there for, and that's what it looks like. So as you can tell, it may be a little darker, but I actually like the colors better on there. They look a lot more natural. And I do believe I have the HDR settings on my phone as well, because this phone actually has HDR on it. So the resolution on my phone goes up to 8K, but it will display in 4K. one of my main videos, and I go to, there we go, and then I go to main screen. Okay, so that's this one here, and that's what that looks like. So it's pretty good. Like if you look at the colors, I'm a little more orangey there and a little more natural. It actually fixes some of the colors, and I can't believe that. Like I actually look worse on the phone. So, but it does look good. And if I take this off, you should be able to see the recording on there. If I hit record, I can record on there. And that's what that looks like. So, and I can fast forward, okay, and I can pause the recording too, so I can pause it so I don't have to have a new file, okay. There we go. And then I can go back here, and I can hit pause again and record, and that's what that looks like. Now if I want to play the video back, okay, and then I can click on that and it'll make it the big screen. And this is a Bluetooth remote control, so you don't have to point it right at the device, just to let you know. I can click back and then, you know, hit OK. It'll play it. And there we go. And if I want to pause it, I can pause it. There's pause. Just hit the OK. And you can fast forward and rewind. Go to the next video just by clicking down. Go back to up to the other video by clicking up. Pretty fast, pretty snappy on that actually. And that's my phone because it's still plugged in. Responsive. Like, just to give you an idea how good that is, there's your lag. So if you want to know what the frame rate lag is, it's pretty fast. Pretty fast. Pretty good. Okay, so that is the ClonerAlliance Halo. And now, just to let you know, I did need to activate the DisplayPort function by plugging it into my laptop first. So I have a DisplayPort on my laptop, and I use that because when I first started to try to do it on my phone, for some reason, it didn't want to activate the DisplayPort. But after I did it on my laptop, and then I went to the phone, it automatically recognized the phone and it did the DisplayPort. So that might have been a glitch with my phone. It may have not have been a glitch with the device itself. You see this source button here? There's a source button right here. It's kind of hard to see, it's the label. But that's what I pushed to switch it from regular HDMI to DisplayPort. Right? And then you've also got a source button on the remote control too. So if you can't get a signal through the DisplayPort, then you have to do that. Now, as far as the HDCP bypass goes, I am not going to tell you how I did that because that would not be a good policy for YouTube. I might talk about that on my other platform because I am going to do a review of this box on my other platform. So if you want to see that, I will maybe address that issue there. But I don't feel comfortable talking about how to bypass HDCP on YouTube because it doesn't come that way when you first hook it up. It will not bypass just by itself. It will actually say unsupported content when you plug it in, and the screen is just blank. So I'm feeling the temperature on this, and it gets warm, but it's not hot. I guess it feels about like a lukewarm cup of coffee. You know, when you have a cup of coffee in your hands, it's not burning your hands, but you can kind of cup your hands around it. It kind of feels like that. So not especially warm. These guys put really good processors, really good hardware in their units. They're all about quality. I'm just going to go back to me and I'm going to talk about some of the other uses that this box can come in handy for. So you can hook this up to a computer and use your computer to record to this device. Like, in other words, use it like an external hard drive, save things right to a card, and make your medium portable. So, you know, I can take my videos and I can record them right to these little guys right here. This is just a little 64 gigabyte. And just to let you know, this is a V30 card. It's a Lexar card. And it's an XC1 and it's a number 3. So I'm just going to hold that up right there for you so you can maybe get a glimpse of that. I know it's going to be kind of tough, but that's what the card looks like. So I did not use a very expensive card, just so you know, like these were not that expensive. They're just your average cards. It has a data transfer rate up to 50 megabits per second, which is pretty good. It's not super high, but it is not bad. I find that it is more than adequate for recording TV shows, movies, things that you know, my content. If I wanted to record one of my videos and put it on there, I can. So how could you use this device as a YouTuber? So let's say, you know, I don't want to break any laws with this thing, but I do want to use it for YouTube content creation. Well, you can use it and hook it up to your cameras and use directly record to there. I can hook this up to a video switcher and use it as a backup recording device. So I can record onto my video switcher. I'm actually doing that right now. But if I wanted to have a backup recording, I can hook this into the program output. And then I can record on 2 SD cards at the same time, and that's pretty professional when you think about it. You're recording, and you've got your backup recording in case one of your cards becomes corrupted. So one of these little boxes can come in handy for that as well. Now, as far as the DisplayPort goes, that's going to come in handy if you are using OBS and you want to record that way. So not everybody uses video switchers, so if you're using OBS and you're using an Elgato Stream Deck and things like that to do your video switching, then this is going to come in handy for that as well. And it's going to make your editing and everything a little bit more streamlined and simplified. Because when you're using OBS, and you're recording using your computer at the same time that you're operating all of those cameras and you're doing all of those effects, that's more work for your CPU and GPU to handle. So if your computer isn't that powerful, this will take some of that workload off of the computer, because this is a standalone recorder. So it's going to take some of that effort that your computer would have to do. It's not going to have to do that task anymore. It's just going to have to operate the cameras and the video effects. This will handle the recording end of it, and that's going to lower the demand on your CPU and your GPU. Not by much, but if your computer is right on that edge where it's not super powerful, this is definitely going to make a difference. Now, the other thing is that it can take pictures. So if you're recording something and you want to take a snapshot while you're recording it, you can. There we go. So I took some screenshots. And like, here is Clarkson's Farm. Now, I'm sorry, I had to blur out some of the face just for copyright reasons, but you know, this is what the show is. I just didn't want to be in violation of any copyright. The DisplayPort function, if you don't need to record in 4K 60, then the Pro Max is going to be a good pick for you. You know, it only has HDMI input, so keep that in mind, but it's going to be less expensive than this one. The ClonerAlliance Halo is more expensive than the Pro Max, but it does record in 4K 60 and it does have that DisplayPort function, which is really handy if you want to record something off your phone. And you never know you need to do that until you actually have to do that. So, you know, I didn't realize it until I needed it, and then I thought, wow, this is going to come in handy. It is nice having this device for that reason. So let's talk about the scheduling function on this device. So I'm going to show you the scheduling function, and it's a little different than something that would be on a DVR or something along those lines. Okay, so on here, you just go into menu, there's menu, and then you'll see you have scheduling. And I got to turn this off. So then you click on scheduling, and then you can add up to different calendar days on there, so you can tell it when to start, when to stop on the exact date and time. And I believe you have a number of settings. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so you got 5 of them. So you can add up to 5 different scheduled recordings. Now, keep in mind that it's going to record whatever is on that input. So it can't change the channels or whatever on your streaming device or things like that. You have to set it to the channel, and then, like, let's say you're not going to be at home and you want to record something, you can. Now, a lot of people won't need to use this because, you know, we have things like video on demand and things like that. So we can automatically just put it on there. But where this might come in handy is if you are having issues with bandwidth. So sometimes you'll want to record something and it can be a bit glitchy at certain times of the day, and at other times of the day maybe you got good bandwidth. So, you know, if you're an older So the reason why you would have the scheduled recording is if you're not going to be at home and you want to just set it and you want to record something at a certain time. Maybe there's a newscast or something you want to check out, or there's a scheduled show and it's not going to be something that you can play at your convenience. Maybe there is a game or a pay-per-view or something you'd like to record that you've paid for and you want to check it out there. Again, make sure you're not violating any copyright rules. So that's what the scheduling looks like. You just add one and then you just set it, your time, your date, you know, and then your stop time. So and you can do it once, daily, weekly. You've got options. So, and you can do up to 5 of these. Okay, so I showed you the storage functions. You can have either a microSD card or you can have an external drive. I do believe it can handle up to 8 terabytes. I will put the specifications in the corner just so that you have the exact specifications. So here's the microSD specifications in the corner. And now, as far as audio is concerned, you can actually store music files on here also. And the other thing you can do is on the audio settings. I'm just going to go to menu. So if I go to audio settings, you've got your volume, your line in volume, your mic volume, and I'm just going to turn me off, your HDMI out volume. So and this is, you can adjust all of these different levels, and that's pretty professional when you look at it. So if you want to bring in an external mic source, you can, and it actually works quite well. So this is a V-mount battery. This one is actually made by Newer, and I'm going to plug in. I'm going to just unplug this power, and I'm going to grab this short little cord here. This is a very high quality USB-C, and on my V-mount battery I have USB-C outlets on there, and I can plug that in, and I should be able to power the device from the V-mount battery. And there we go, it's powering up, and there we go. And I'm just going to show you the downward shot, and on here you can even see how much power it's taking. So it says it's taking 5 volts. So a standard power brick will actually power this device. And there you go. See, it says please use. Okay, so it had a warning on there. Please use the original fast charging. So you see that little sign on there that's flashing? I'm just going to circle it. So it does work, but it's saying please use the original fast charging. So maybe that has to do, but this is a 100-watt battery, so you can make it portable. I'm going to see if I can get let me just try something here. I just want to see if the DisplayPort still functions on here, if it activates it. There we go. Okay. And can I record? There we go. Okay. And there we go. And it's playing. I showed you all kinds of interesting tricks you can do with this thing. You can literally make it portable. You could take it on site. You could run it off of a V-mount battery like I showed you. You could run your camera and all that other stuff and use this as a standalone recorder. Now, I don't think it'll hurt it myself, but I would check with ClonerAlliance to see if that voids the warranty. But as far as I can see, it takes that 5-volt signal. It does give a little bit of a warning. It says, please use the other one. So the power supply that they give you is quite heavy duty. But in a pinch, I guess you could do that. Also make portable devices like this Box Pro Pocket. So if you need a portable device with a screen, they make those too. And they run off NP batteries if you need to use it for that. So if you just want something as a standalone recorder on site and you don't want to have to do that like I showed you with this, they make these guys too. They even make a 7-inch screen version. Yeah, so on that note, take care, be safe at work, and I will see you at the next video. Bye.